Hi everyone. Today I want to explore this kind of concept called alone time, or however you want to say it. I recently watched a video, someone who put the thumbnail on their video as for those, I think she named it as for those who feel deeply. And I found that quite inspiring because as I was watching it and even just looking at the title, I just thought, gosh, I really relate to this. This is so me. It kind of inspired me to kind of do this video. So, anyone who's watching this, if you relate to this, I am also someone, always been very sensitive, someone who's really felt things deeply and feels things deeply all the time still. I'm just one of those people. And I know that was very intentional for what I need to work through in order for what needs to come from that in terms of work and future and everything that's needed, right? And look, just on a side note, I do feel, and I have been told this before, but I really feel it as well, that for anyone who's, in the healing modality, if you're a bit of a healer yourself, you consider yourself to be a bit of a healer, unless you are feeling things deeply on such an intuitive, emotional level, then I just feel like it'll be really hard to do healing work. I just feel like it'll be really difficult because what are you understanding about emotions and feelings? What are you understanding about the human self, right? So I feel like it's really important to go through hardships in your life in terms of feeling it and understanding it and be in that emotion and in that depth that you are, so in order to do the work. So it's just something that I feel like kind of resonates with me. So for anyone who, just like this woman said, who feels deeply, then this might be for you. I guess one of the main points that I've noticed in my life, and I feel that is so true, is when you feel things in a sensitive way, you are, as maybe you might have heard, highly sensitive. I've always been one of those people. There's a need for alone time. I feel like that's really, really true for people that are becoming more awake and more conscious, and therefore you are going to feel things more, right? Because this is how consciousness works. You are becoming more sensitive. Your sensitivity, your feelings are opening up. This is consciousness, and it happens through the heart, like I've said before. You are naturally are going to feel like you're going to want more alone time. You're going to want more you time. And this is what I've found in my life. And, and I've been told this so many times, is that I must have that time for myself. This is the time when you are alone, when you're spending that time alone. These are the times that are really, like I'm being told, pinnacle are so needed, because these are the times when you are able to give yourself that space. And it is, I feel as well, like I'm kind of being told the same thing. It is about us allowing ourselves to have that space. It's about giving yourself permission to have those moments, to have that space, to be by yourself, to be, I'm getting the word, within yourself. It's really, really difficult, especially in these times of this awakening that we're going through. It's really difficult to be within yourself completely when there's so much going on with all these energies around us, right? And energies coming from different people. I did a video recently on sound, which is really interesting. And one of the things that came up in that video was how sound is happening all the time, right? And that means the vibration, because sound and vibration is basically the same thing. So the vibration of people where they are, you are going to be affected by. So when you're around that, you're going to naturally be affected by that. So as this is happening, we need to give ourselves more, I'm being told far more, this is for everyone, far more permission to let ourselves be alone, to have that alone time. That alone time is deeply, deeply needed. I'm just being told, so deeply needed. So if you feel things and you keep on letting yourself get into that pressure, like I know sometimes I do, it's so needed to make sure you are putting that alone time for yourself. So whatever that is, what is alone time for you? That's something to ask. Yeah, what is being alone for you? Is it like, walking in the woods? Is that a really beneficial alone time for you? Do you get a lot out of that in terms of processing things instead of working through things internally? Or for you, is it, I know for me, this can be like, this is when I'm just lying down, just being with my heart, lying down and processing things, reflecting on things and working through things through my feelings. What is valuable and effective alone time for you? And whatever that is, that's what you need to do. And what I mean by effective, I mean a space for you where you are open to how you are feeling. You are letting yourself feel things and go through those emotions. Because what happens usually is in this, matrix world that we live in, we have so many distractions purposefully, I feel, completely, I'm being told completely purposefully, where we are constantly having to look at this, that, it could be a billboard, could be, some advertisement, it could be TV, it could be someone talking about something from the matrix, system that it could be anything. And the energy through people which goes through the matrix, so then you are connected to that matrix in that way, whatever it is, it could be anything. There's so many distractions, the sound, the music, everything through vibration that we may not be aware of. They are all acting as distractions, our phones, right? All distractions. And these distractions are basically have been for so long preventing us from going within. And when you are going within, and this is why having alone time is so valuable, when you are allowing yourself to be by yourself and therefore allowing yourself to go really within without any distractions, without any technology, any media, nothing, right? You are then allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel. You are letting yourself be open to it. And that opening is going to bring in new aspects for you to work through so you can go on to the next step and the step after that. This is why it's needed, because when we are in constant distraction and in this block, in this numbness, and not being with our feelings and being compassionate, which is what the alone time allows us to do, is that to be in our complete self-compassion. When we are not being compassionate towards ourselves and letting ourselves have that alone time, we are not getting to the place we need to get to, right? We are not letting ourselves alchemize within ourselves to work through what we need to work through in order to let ourselves more and more be aligned to ourselves and be free within ourselves. So we are basically resisting truth. We are resisting all that is enlightenment, truth, all the stuff we're coming to, because we are letting ourselves get distracted. This is not of the highest path, to be in distraction mode all the time, to be in blocks, to be in this numbness and in this pressure cooker and not letting ourselves feel things for ourselves. This is not of the highest timeline. And it's really important, I practice this, and I do ask this for my guides, is guide me to be on this highest timeline. That is so important. The highest timeline is the highest self of you, is the most loving you, is the most compassionate you, is the most loving earth there could be. So I'm talking quite a lot about this, but I just want to kind of highlight that if you are someone who doesn't give yourself enough space, permission to be by yourself, really question that, because being by yourself, that alone time is so needed, because as you're going more within, and in these times you are going more and more within, you are discovering something about yourself that's so needed. You are getting into that heart intelligence, which is your guide, right? And your guide, again, is of the highest timeline. So give yourself more permission. Let yourself be more within yourself. Give yourself more time. Be by yourself more so you can transform and be the best version of yourself.